Hi everybody, and welcome back to Franklin Cattle Farms. Today on the channel, we will be reviewing a Glock 19C, which as you guys can see is clear. And we will also be reviewing a CZ P-10C, and this is denoted as a C model because it's the compact. We'll do a safety check here for all of you guys who think you're going to get shot through the camera. Safe and clear. Now, while I have this open, I'm going to highlight one of the issues with this gun. With this particular one, now we haven't had our hands on too many of these things, but with this particular one, the slide release on the left-hand side is, for all intents and purposes, useless. You have to put an enormous amount of pressure on the slide release in order to get it to release. As you can see, oh, it went that time. I promise, behind camera. Ready? Nope, nope, nope. Let's see, watch this. Put your thumb right here. It closes every time. It seems to suffer from the same issue that the Remington RP9 suffered from. The Remington RP9 had a transfer bar in the middle that operated the ambidextrous slide release. What seems to happen is the transfer bar seems to flex a little bit, and that flex prevents the slide release from functioning correctly, because the latch for the slide release is on the right side, the right side of the gun. So, other than that, the P10 here is a near direct copy of the Glock 19. There's no really any shame in saying it. Most modern striker-fired pistols are copies of the Glock. However, I would have hoped for a little more from CZ. In all honesty, it really is a Glock, and it doesn't do anything the Glock does any better. The only thing I could say is better is the trigger. The trigger is fantastic. Let me get a little closer and demonstrate the trigger for you guys. The trigger, as you can see, has a large amount of take-up. However, it's smooth and it's even throughout each pull. You push, nice, clean, crisp break with a very, very short trigger reset. CZ outdid themselves with their trigger, as they usually do with most of their firearms triggers. The inside of this thing is, like I said, nearly a direct copy of the Glock 19. The only caveat being this has a single recoil spring versus the Glock, at least the Gen 4 and 5, having the dual captured recoil spring. This gun also has a very, very large locking surface and a fully supported chamber, unlike the Glock. For the most part, you're not going to notice any of these things in shooting, but it's worth noting. Now, the Glock, on the other hand, is, well, a Glock 19. This, however, is a compensated model. The compensated model having these two ports on the top of the slide in order to release gas from the two ports that have been milled into the barrel. This gun has been customized slightly, because it's a Glock, with the extended beaver tail component that comes in the kit when you get the gun. It has stainless steel pins, as well as an extended slide release and a ghost trigger. This gun is incredibly smooth to shoot, and as soon as you shoot the compensated model, you will fully understand what I'm talking about as far as smoothness goes. As you can see, we'll take it apart here. As you can see, it's clear. We're all human. Okay, so as you can see, very, very similar to the CZ inside. It's much smaller locking surface here, dual captured recoil spring, and the ghost trigger on the inside that you can't really see. Well, this one is also fitted with Tritium night sights. These are Tritium HDs. They are fantastic, and I assure you, you will need these after having shot this at night with the compensation in the barrel. This is not a recommended carry gun if you're going to be carrying at night. The owner is standing behind the camera, and he's shaking his head yes, because as soon as you fire this gun at night, you can't see anything. It's just a flash. You're completely dazed. Let's see if we can demonstrate the compensation of this gun compared to the CZ. So we'll holster this and we'll shoot the CZ first. Let me get my ear protection on. We have the top three AR-500 plates are what we will be shooting at today. I have my ear protection. I forgot my eye protection, so forgive me. You guys aren't going to get hit with any of this. So, put my ears on. Get my mag out of my pocket. Get my CZ out of my back pocket. Make sure to put one in it. We're just shooting Federal Syntech ammo today. This stuff usually runs pretty good. You got it cheap, can't complain. Let's see how this thing shoots. Now, notice the muzzle rise difference in this gun versus when I shoot the Glock. Now, one thing that's really nice about this gun is the trigger reset. It allows you to fire very fast and with well-placed shots. So the Glock does the same thing with the modified trigger. However, the CZ really has it down to a science. Oh, there went one of the plates. Let's take a quick break. Let me reset that thing, and we'll be right back with the Glock. Okay, all done. Darn thing rolled halfway down the mountain. Now, let's do a little bit of shooting with the Glock. The Glock here has the same capacity as the CZ. That is 15 in the mag, 1 in the tube. Let's just take note of how much smoother the Glock is when I shoot it versus the CZ. Get a little tap, rack one in. Let's see how this thing shoots. Now notice how little muzzle rise there is, and the recoil is also minimized significantly. The only downside is there's a bit of a shock wave that hits your face. Doesn't bother me, however some people might be concerned by it. It's one of those things, kind of a trade-off. You can't see the giant fireball since it's so bright outside, but trust me, it's there. All done. The Glock definitely wins out compared to the CZ. There's no question about it. However, if you're a CZ fanboy, like I am, the CZ isn't a bad option. However, the Glock has many more options available to you as far as triggers, sights, basically any component you can possibly imagine. You can build a Glock that's not even a Glock from components. So, in all seriousness, the Glock is the way to go. As you can see, both of them shoot very well, and well, they are both modern military handguns. So you can't really fault them. Join us next time on Franklin Cattle Farms.